All right, Jasmine, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much again, Matt, for having me. I truly appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Now, share with us, what was the thing that happened in your life that got you to start coaching and join the Coaching Institute? What was the thing? There was I know, because I know your story, which is you have an amazing story. For the people that are watching, what was it?
So one thing that I really want to change is actually because I've been seeing myself failure after failure. I fail so many times, Matt. Fail so many times. I know that I have all this dream, but every time when I did something, it's just that it either fail or something that I just not happy with. So I don't feel satisfied with it, because I know in terms of where I want to go, it's just that it's just too fuzzy. I'm kind of like lost direction to go where I wanted to go. So that's the whole idea. So every time, as I said, every time the step that I took, it's just that for me, I feel that I'm failing, and also the social pressure as well. I always been pressured, every time I make a decision and I fail, and people will say, see, I told you not to do it.
Wow.
So that is the reason why I feel like, I've got to do something about it.
Right. And what was it about where you were at in your life that made you choose coaching? What was it that drew you to coaching as a field?
So as I mentioned that I've been running multiple businesses, for about 15 years, and I'm just not happy in terms of, the income that I'm generating is one thing. And sometimes I have to pump in more money. And then at the end of the day, I'm not generating anything. And in fact, I feel so exhausted with myself. To one extent, sometimes I feel like asking myself, what am I doing? And when I compare myself to so many of my friends out there, I was like looking back at myself, I feel small with myself, so I've been like losing here and there. So the reason why I wanted to join TCI is because I still want to have this, I have this big dream that this time, if I really come out with this business, I want to make it successful. Not just successful, but I'll be able to sustain it and make it as a legacy.
Right. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so I know that one of the things that was really challenging for you is when you first started, I know that you didn't really have much money to make the investment. I know that you were in a situation where you were kind of feeling down on yourself. When you started, what was the decision that you made? Like, how did you make that decision? Because I know that a lot of people will say, I'm not in the right position, so I'm not going to get started. But you were, I guess you could say, not in the right position, but you had the right mindset. What was it that you were telling yourself that you were able to get yourself to do this?
Yep. So one thing is because, Matt, everybody has their dreams. I have my own dreams as well. It's just that every time when I share my dreams with other people, sometimes people make face on me, and then they have all this self-doubt. They don't take it seriously, especially with the loved one when I mention to them that this is my dream. So I don't get, that support, from the loved one. And then they always have this self-doubt, and it caused me more self-doubt with myself. But the moment when I'm in TCI, so I remember when I shared, with one of the mentors about my dream, and that is the moment where I feel that someone finally understands this is so important to me. This is so much matter to me, So that moment really tell me something that, hey, this is really what I want to do. And this person's actually able to acknowledge me and validate me. This is something, it's not just like just a dream, but something that I can make it become a reality. So I think, Matt, that is one of the reasons why, I make that decision, because I become so clear with myself. And all of a sudden, I feel like, yes, I've got to trust myself. I can do this. And I know the community here in TCI understand that this is my journey and they are going to support me. So that is my belief, not just myself, And I believe that this community will be able to help me, because I know I wouldn't be able to do it alone. I wouldn't be. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you
now,
so much.
Jasmine, one of the things that you do is I know that you run workshops for women. And so you're from Malaysia, and I know
Yep.
that you do the workshops. I know you've done a lot of workshops in your native language, which is awesome. Tell us about like what has inspired you to do that? What has inspired you to start reaching out? Like I remember when you posted up the first photo of the first workshop that you ran. I still remember it. I was
Thank
in
you.
like the seating was, you know, it was up like that. It was in this beautiful hall and you had all these other Malaysian women there. Tell me about like what has inspired you to do that? What's the response you're getting? What's the work you're doing?
So, as I've been sharing with so many people out there, I've been like going through a lot, a lot of challenges, and migrating to a new country is just too hard for me, So, because of all those experience and challenges that I went through, to one extent, I fall under depression. Not happy with myself. I victimize myself a lot. I blame myself, and to one extent I've been like telling myself, I'm not worth to live on this planet. So I understand that feeling being small, feeling of sabotaging yourself, feeling that you're not good enough, you're not worth at all. So I know the pain in there. So that is one of the reasons why, Matt, I really want to go out there and inspire all those women out there. I want all those women to understand that the moment they understand and believe and trust in themselves, tell you the truth, they can find their own happiness and fulfillment in life. So that is the reason why I've been like, this is so much in me, based on my experience that I went through. It hurts, I feel sad, I feel frustrated, and sometimes, I feel lonely as well. And I know some of these women, they were in my shoes before, and I can feel it from my heart that they are actually looking out there searching for help. And I wanted to let them know that, hey, I'm here. I understand how you feel. I'm here, that I really want to help you. So that is where my journey began, Matt. And I can see some of them, they transform in a way that they're starting to understand who they are. They're starting to go into their inner journey, and what I love about is where they started to trust and believe in themselves. That is the most beautiful things ever. Every time when I do workshop together with all these women.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that you were in that dark space yourself. You've joined the community. You've changed your relationship with yourself, and I know you're so much happier now, which is beautiful. You are in this situation where you're now passing that down to other people, and it's just so important. It's so important to have people like you get started and do this work, because like you said, there are so many people that need it. And it's wonderful to have someone that can say, hey, I know where you've been. I'm going to guide you through this. It's really beautiful.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Now, one of the other things that I know has shifted for you a lot through TCI is your relationship with your family. You've shared with me many times your wonderful stories about your kids and how that shifted. I think it's a big deal to appreciate. Like you said, you immigrated from another country. That is such a big thing. And there's a lot of stress on you as a mum to be able to provide for your kids, and you do the best that you can. And then you come and do education like this and you realize how you can make it even better. What did you realize, and what were some of the things that you changed inside your family?
Wow, there's a lot. Seriously, Matt, there's a lot. I think that when I begin changing myself, so much changes, especially with my kids. So yeah, I've shared with you, in terms of my relationship with my children, as I said, I'm a mom with 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, like, of course, during the process, migrating to this country and so on, definitely there's a lot of challenges, and my kids don't really understand, what's going on. And I'm looking at their mom, like, why you're not always happy, always sad, always crying. And the most I would say the worst part is where I don't have that connection, emotional connection with my children at all. You know, I am physically with them all the time, but emotionally, I wasn't with them. So I know that feeling of guiltiness. I realized that it's just that I'm so stuck. I have no idea what to do during that time, man. I have no idea at all. I was so subconscious with myself. The only thing that I know is that I'd be like nagging to them, you know, having all this anger. And the worst part is every time the challenges that happen to me, I will blame my kids. That is the worst ever thing. Because if I were to think again, oh my gosh, what have I done to be, you know, because this is what I do not want to be this type of mother to my children. So what really changed, and I think is because there are one moment, Matt, when I was driving and I was like crying. So the moment that I really want to change is when I think about my 4 children. That is the moment I was like saying, you know what, I've got to stop this. I really have to stop this. I want to be a good example to my children. They don't deserve this. They don't really understand what's going on. So it's so unfair, you know, for me to put all the blames and everything to my children because of the situation that happened. So that is where I started to open it up, you know. Open up here means like I started to search and go and search for help. You know, how can I build that relationship with my children? And I realized it's not about them, it's about me. So the moment I've changed myself, the connection with my children, oh my God, man, it's just amazing. So they are all my best friend now. So I can chat with them, you know, I can chat anything with them. And we really understand each other. In fact, my business that I'm doing today, 2 of my children are actually part of my business as well. And one of my children now, he's also a coach. He was telling me the other day, Mom, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. What? I think I'm going to be a coach, just like you. Yeah, it was a great conversation. Yeah.
Congratulations. It's
Thank
just
you.
so beautiful. And I really want to say thank you for sharing, because I trust that this conversation will be so valuable to so many other mums. To have someone as vulnerable as you to share the behind the scenes. It's like to be that honest and say, well, I was angry and I did blame my kids. And you know, we know from a coaching point of view, you were doing the best that you could with the tools that you've got. There's so much pressure there. The thing that I love about what you've done, Jasmine, is that you've taken the awareness to say, I can do this better for them. It's not up to them to change, it's up to me to change. And now you have what you wanted all the time, which is you have this beautiful relationship with your kids. They want to do the work that you're doing. I think that's a great reflection. You know, when one of your kids says, I want to do what you're doing, Mum, you know you're moving in the right direction, right? Because they're looking at you saying, that's what I want to do. I'm inspired by that.
Correct.
So,
and yeah, one more thing, Matt. The thing that I just want to share with everyone is that the moment, you know, there's one moment where my kids can just look at me and then they will saying this to me, Mom, I am so proud of you. Oh my God, Matt, that is the beautiful gift ever, ever. You know, I know as a mothers out there, I just want to share this with you guys. It's just sometimes, you know, it's quite hard, you know, to get that truly, genuinely, you know, from our children. And when I receive that, you know, and the moment is just so beautiful, man, because they can come to me and then they hold me and they hug me. Mom, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you to be my mom. Yeah.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jasmine, you've come so far. You have a full-time coaching business. One of the things that we didn't touch on is that last year you actually won Australian Coach of the Year, which was amazing. And I know that grew your business even more. You're running workshops, you're helping women, you're making a phenomenal difference, your family's improved. Congratulations on everything that you've achieved through this program. It's just been, you're such a star. What would you say to someone who's inspired by your story and is considering joining the community and becoming a coach themselves?
Yep. So what I can say is that number one is where the moment, you know, you have that whisper in you, listen to it. Listen to it make sure that you tell yourself that that whisper in you is super, super important. Stop listening to all those noise out there. Listen to yourself. So once you listen to yourself and trust yourself more, that is the time where you are the one you got to make that decision. So that is the moment where I would like to share with everyone today. You know, for me, based on my experience, the moment that I trust myself, I'm not going to look back. I'll just say yes to myself. And I know that once I say yes, I am going to commit myself. No more turning back. That's what I want to share with everyone.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
No worries at all.